this is the background information for the junior high marathon task called Aboard Your Voyager. To begin, in 1977, NASA launched two identical spacecrafts, Voyager 1 and Voyager 2. They were exactly the same, but had two separate goals and plans for them, and they both visited different planets. As you can see, Voyager 2 was launched before Voyager 1. However, that was simply because Voyager 2 was taking the longer path, so it needed more time. They were meant to take pictures of planets in our solar system and voyage beyond our reach. In these two images here, the one on the left is of Jupiter, taken by Voyager 1, and the one on the right is Neptune, taken by Voyager 2. Nowadays, we're used to seeing such images of planets, but back then it was really spectacular. This was the first time they viewed planets in such detail, especially Neptune, with Voyager 2 being the first spacecraft to observe Neptune. And scientists back then learned a lot of the planets. They were able to follow their trajectory by using the other planet's gravity to slingshot themselves forward. And this slingshot was made useful because the planets were in such a special alignment that occurs once every 176 years. And 1977 was the perfect time to do it. So it was NASA's once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And the Voyagers have both met their marks. They visited all the planets that they will, and now they're moving on past our solar system. Voyager 1 is currently in interstellar space, making it our first spacecraft to have ever done so. And Voyager 2 is about to be there, about to join its twin. And we have lost contact with both of them. We are no longer receiving information, which is why the two crafts carry the golden record. These two crafts may exist longer than us, they may outlive us, and they may meet other forms of intelligence before us. So they both carry the exact same golden record. This record was made to represent humanity, and it has 90 minutes of music, several greetings in different languages, and a variety of natural sounds to introduce humanity to other life forms. Now I'd like to discuss how spacecraft, including the Voyager, are made. They consist of 5 key components: communication devices, orientation devices, scientific instruments, a power source or sources, and a container. The communication device sends signals back to Earth. An antenna is an example of one, though there are others. And the antenna is useful because it has 2 types, high grain, low grain. High grain transmit data at higher rates, but have a narrow range, while low grain are the opposite. And most spacecrafts hold both of these to correct any errors made out. So if the high grain message was not received on Earth, perhaps the low grain version of it was. Orientation devices let the spacecraft know where it is and lets us know back on Earth where the spacecraft is. It can also help us correct its orbit. So if we see that something's off and corrections are needed, there is a reaction control system which uses thrusters to push the craft back on its course. Scientific instruments are what carry out the whole procedure and the purpose. If we'd like to take pictures of Neptune, we of course need a camera. And there's several forms of these: cameras, antennas, code, measuring instruments. There you go, wild with them. And the power source is what will power the craft. To carry out all these functions, it's needed something to power it. So solar panels is a very common choice, as well as nickel hydrogen batteries. And the container holds everything that the spacecraft needs to operate and could also have room for cargo, depending on the purpose. Finally, I would just like to say how incredible the Voyagers were. You can see on the picture to the right here, all those lines. That's an image formed by the Voyagers after combining about 60 frames of pictures, and Earth is merely a speck in there. So our Voyagers and many other spacecrafts are incredible inventions by humans.